Welcome, everybody. Welcome to episode number 95 of Fraternity Foodie. I am your host, Mike Ailon, CEO of Greek University. We call these episodes Fraternity Foodie because there is nothing like great food to bring people together. Today, we're going to be talking about budgeting, reaching your financial goals, credit scores, student loans, with Erol Atac, an alumnus of Sigma Pi Fraternity from Loyola University Chicago. He's also the founder of Armstrong and Atac Financial Group. Welcome to the show, Erol.
Michael, thank you so much. Man, what an intro, one. But the second thing is episode number 95. That's like big deal.
Thanks. Now I'm starting to think about who I should have on episode number 100. So after the interview, you're going to have to let me know who should be number 100. Give me your vote.
Deal. We'll do. We'll do.
That sounds great. So, all right. So let's get a little bit into your background. Talk to us about where you went to school. Talk to us about your experience with the fraternity. Talk to us about how you met your wife.
Love it. Sounds good. So I went to Loyola University Chicago, obviously out of Chicago. And I ended up joining the fraternity Sigma Pi, Beta Chi chapter. So the reason why I went to Sigma Pi was, there were many different fraternities at the time that I was rushing, and Sigma Pi just seemed to fit my values, my culture, and what I was looking for the best. And I learned so much being within a fraternity, and I actually learned so much about stuff that I didn't even realize was out there, and so much about people as well, which to me was a great asset. And I actually, to this day, I'm almost 29. Some of my best friends, like closest people that I hang out with, they're from Sigma Pi. They're from the Greek life. And my godson's father, Sigma Pi, so I'm very grateful for my experience. I'm so happy I went Greek, and specifically for me, joined Sigma Pi.
That's awesome. I absolutely love it. So what led you into Greek life? Talk to us a little bit about that experience.
Yeah. So, I was a pretty shy guy to start off with. And, and if I could be vulnerable here for a second, I lacked a lot of self-confidence. And I honestly did not have a whole lot of friends. It was so weird for me to go away from high school to college. And, it was a weird transition for me. And I knew I wanted to be a business owner one day, or, an executive somewhere. And there was like one of these pamphlets that were being passed around on campus. And I saw that like something like 80% of the executives at companies, they were in some sort of Greek life, a fraternity, a sorority. And I was like, oh, that's cool. That's kind of like where I'm trying to go. So I saw it as an opportunity to make new friends. And I soon learned it was just more than friends. It was a brotherhood.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And we should talk about your wife too. If we don't talk about your wife, she's going to get mad at you. She was Greek too.
Oh my God.
Right?
She is totally Greek too. Yeah. So she was in Phi Sigma Sigma. She went to Loyola as well. We actually crossed paths at totally different parts of life. So, and she was also part of a business fraternity called AK Psi.
Got it. All right. Very good. So what do you do for fun? What do you do during your spare time now?
That's a great question. So, especially during the pandemic times that we're in, I mean, this video will be forever timeless, but we're still within a pandemic. So, a lot of people probably wouldn't pick this up on me just looking at what I look like, or maybe what I do for a profession or how I speak. But I love watching video gamers like compete. To me, it's like a sport. But it's just like video games. So I love watching and following those. Specifically, I love speed runs. Like Mario Maker 1, Mario Maker 2. And I also enjoy watching like YouTube gamer legends like PewDiePie, if anyone out there is familiar with the name. But outside of that, Alex and I love just chilling out, hanging out. We work incredibly hard and work very long hours. So it's like nice to decompress. Right now on Netflix, actually, Sister came out. And like, I'm reliving my childhood all over again. And so that's been really nice for us. But outside of that, and just doing mindless stuff, Alex and I love traveling, and we make our way up to Michigan actually quite often near Traverse City, where her family has a cabin, and it's really cool. Her grandfather, as well as a couple of the relatives, actually built the cabin up there. And so it's fun to get away, get up there sometimes, and it's also good for some peace of mind too, especially for the chaotic life that we live.
I love it. That's awesome. My son would love all of your love for Mario. So anytime you want to come over and, hit up some Mario with him, he would play with you for days.
You can't see it now, but there's like a, somewhere back there, there's like a Mario question mark light up thing.
Nice. That's awesome. That's really cool. All right. So tell us, what do you do professionally? Everybody wants to know, what do you do professionally and ultimately how you can help them?
Absolutely. So I work with a lot of people, helping them with their personal finances. Interesting stat, with Statistica's 2019 study reporting the average American saving 7.9%. I think that has led in why we're seeing so many people running out of money in retirement. So what I do is I take the majority and I help them become the minority. And what I mean by that is many people work 30, 40 years busting their tail to end up with not enough money to last them throughout retirement. And that's quite sad. It could be because they didn't save enough. There could have been curveballs that came along the way, or they just didn't put enough attention into their finances at the time. So here's my role in all this. It's to help understand my clients' stories and their narratives and what they want to live out in life. And it's to help them understand what it takes to get there and to hold them accountable to it. So for some people, it's the priority of retirement. For others, it's their student loans. And then you come across the young couple who just got married. Maybe they have a baby on the way or had their first or second child and they're managing their first home purchase. And so they're thinking of like their child's expenses or education, insurances, like so many different things, you name it. So my job is to understand what's important to them, help them track their goals, get them to where they want to be so that really they can have the freedom and flexibility. And it's taking as much financial and legal risk off their plate so that they have a greater probability of getting the things that they actually want out of life. So if I can help my clients gain clarity and insight to do and get them closer to where what they're trying to accomplish, that's like a mission accomplished and mission success to me.
Got it. So could you get a little bit more specific in terms of how you help people create a financial strategy?
I'd love to. So first off, everyone we work with, they either have an income coming in or they have some sort of wealth amassed. And they're looking for ways to strategically save so they can do the things they want in life. Second, I really take the time to understand what's important to my clients. What are they trying to accomplish in life? It's important to understand what's important to them because people's lives are always at the center of their finances. That's specifically how we focus on this. And I want to know things like what's important to you? What do you want to do with this money now or in the future? Do they want to buy something like a new home or do something totally different with it? Do they want to start a business one day? Are you trying to take care of anyone financially today, or do you foresee yourself taking care of anyone financially in the future? So I take all the things that are important to them and help them create a strategy and game plan and help them implement it. So one thing that's really important to note here is we're tracking and following all these things that are important to our clients today, but we're also thinking about their future selves. So we're thinking, for example, if they're 27 years old today, we're also thinking about them when they one day turn 37, 47, 57, and beyond when they're in retirement. So we're not only helping them with their goals today, but we're helping lay down the foundations for where they're likely going to be in the next 10, 20, 40 years, 7 years. It would be amazing.
Got it. All right, that's really good. So most of our audience is either recent college graduates or somebody who is in college now. They're going to be graduating soon. So what are some things that these people can do right now?
That is such a great question. So to make it really simple, create a simple budget sheet. Understand how much money you're making every month after taxes. track that and track how much you're spending every month. Start to understand where your money is going and see if you're truly spending your money on things that you love. Of course, money is like something that should be enjoyed today. I absolutely, absolutely believe that. One thing that's important to me when I'm working with my clients is like, make sure you're enjoying your life today. And that typically involves some sort of capital need, whether that's traveling, camping, or the occasional socializing, whatever it could be. But then it's to see, all right, if we want to make sure we don't shoot ourselves in the foot like 40, 50 years down the road, are we saving 15 to 25% of our income towards retirement? Now, I know that seems especially high and like a really big percentage, 15 to 25%, especially if you have really high student loans. So one thing I'd have someone consider is start saving what you can today, but then every 6 months or so, start to challenge yourself to save like 1% more. If you can become like 1% better, like every 6 months, not every day, like 1% better with what you're doing every 6 months, slowly but surely, you don't see it, but it'll make a big difference in the long run. And everything I do with my clients is getting them to building stronger habits so that they can become stronger, faster, smarter, better with all their financial lives. So if you're fresh into your job, make sure you understand all of your work benefits. There are a lot of free benefits that your company may be offering you that you may not even know. Such as you may have the availability of enrolling into something like student repayment help that is like completely free from a company. And there are a lot of like amazing tech companies, for example, that do this. Another thing to consider as a young and ambitious professional is your disability insurance. Now, the reason why that's important is because it protects your income, which is like super important because it protects your independence. So when you're new into your career, unless you already have a lot of money, when I say a lot, I really just mean like millions of dollars. Your income is going to be your number one wealth building engine. And so disability is one of those things where it doesn't matter how old you are, people become disabled. According to the social security studies, 1 in 4 people go on disability. So whether that's due to depression, anxiety, cancer, even something like migraines, could you imagine? And I would ask this to you or someone else too. It's like, if you're someone who works in front of a computer screen, and let's say you look at a screen for like 10 hours a day, what if you got a migraine after looking at a screen for like 10 minutes at a time? Like, yikes, you wouldn't be able to do your job. And the chances are you qualify for disability. So what supplemental disability insurance does on top of your work benefits is it ensures that you have the most income coming in if a curveball comes your way and you can't work due to disability. Next, if you have student loans, those can be really daunting, especially if they're 6 figures deep. Understand who you have student loans with and what your interest rates are on each of them. Are they private? Are they federal? What's the minimum payment? And what industry are you working on? There are benefits here based on all of that. So if your interest rates are high, the interest can really crush your long-term ability to save money. So what can you do? If you haven't already got a good credit, build that up. Once you have a very excellent or a very good or excellent credit score, consider consolidating your high interest rates for your student loans and refinance those so that you can get lower interest rates. This could really save you thousands of dollars in the long run, which means more money for you to do whatever with, right? And I love that. In terms of strategy and paying off debt, now the math will always be math. Like that's irrefutable. And see, there's 2 parts of the type of work that I do. There's the math and logical side of it, and then there's the emotional side of it. But the thing is, our clients make the decisions. And if they choose to make the emotional decisions, it can really work out. But then again, it may end up costing them more in the long run. And so at the end of the day, the choices our clients make, well, they have to live with that for the rest of their lives. So if my clients and I understood the math of student loans and how it really worked, they could save a lot of money in the long run. And if I were them, I'd pay off the high interest rates first, trickle down to lower interest rate ones, and go about it that way. So pay off the debt with the highest interest rates, trickle it down, And by doing this strategically, you'll be paying off your debt and ultimately pay less in interest rates, which is better for the consumer.
That's really helpful for college graduates about to graduate, for recent graduates to start thinking about. I mean, I'm just wondering what brought you into this business?
I love that. So I grew up in the bottom of the income spectrum. I didn't come from a whole lot. I grew up with a lot of financial insecurity and struggle growing up. Now, I was eating dinner every night. I had a caring family who really just loved me a lot. And so I had a lot of support and love like that. And, my family was the majority. They just didn't have all the financial needs and stuff put in place. And they were also immigrants. So things were financially challenging growing up for us, but fast forward, I graduated from Loyola. And then around the age of 23, 24, I started to have like this, if you haven't hit it yet, like there's things called quarter life crises. Like I happened to have my quarter life crisis around 23, 24. And what I was doing for work, I didn't necessarily love it. I was good at it. I didn't love it though. And I was like, man, I don't want to be doing something where I'm working 8 to 10 hours a day and not loving it. That's a big chunk of my life. So I was like, what do I love in life? Where can I do something that I'm super passionate about? And, I discovered what I love and I geeked out about it. And that was all about personal finances. I actually got my first financial plan when I was 22 years old because I wanted to make sure I had everything taken care of in life. That was my mindset. I wanted to be proactive, anticipate, and just be ahead of the curve. I wanted more for myself and more for my family. So where I started my practice was back in 2017 at a big Fortune 100 company. That's where I started my personal finance career. And ultimately I left to join the Guardian family. Guardian's a Fortune 250 company, and it's been around for over 150 years. And because of the relationship we have with them, we're able to run Armstrong Atac the way that we are, which I love it. So I chose Guardian because of their structure and support, but they also allow us to operate our practice however we want. So our business model for us, it's to treat our clients no different than family. That's really important to us. It's to make sure they know and feel like they're not just another number for us. It's for them to understand we really care for them. And, we work with people who have similar values as us. They're family oriented, they do good for others, and they kick butt in their careers. That kind of stuff's really important for us.
Now it makes total sense why you chose Guardian. That's awesome. So
Yeah.
some of the people that are listening right now, they might be wondering, would you work with them? So who do you work with?
I love it. I feel like I'm saying I love it to all these. So we work with people who are nice. It's that simple. Like if they're nice people, if they hold values that we do, which is family oriented, they're good for others, but they're also kick butt in their careers. They're ambitious. We'd be happy to see if this could be a potential good fit. Now we work with people making as little as $40,000 a year starting off in their careers, all the way to executives making millions of dollars a year, seven figures, et cetera. So I love the diversity of clients we have here. And, each of our clients know how important they are to us. The dollar amount doesn't matter. What matters is we enjoy working with the people that we do, and we have a deep passion for it. For our clients, what's really important is, are we competent? Can they trust us? But the other thing is, do they see the value right away? So we try to bring those right away. We're very transparent with how we operate, what we do. And that's just so paramount for us.
Very cool. All this financial talk is making me hungry. I have to be honest with you. Okay, this is Fraternity Foodie. We have to talk about food, and you're located in one of the best cities for food, Chicago. So what is your favorite restaurant to go to in Chicago?
That's a ultra difficult question for me to, it's so difficult. So I'm going to give you two answers. Now, this is going to get really, really controversial, so viewer discretion be advised. I really do love deep dish.
Okay.
And for some people, especially if you're a New Yorker, I know deep dish is not considered a pizza. But you know what? From Chicago, that is where I'm from. I'm going to say it is a pizza. And it would have to be, for me, it's Giordano's pizza. I love the crust. The crust reminds me of like pumpkin pie crust for some reason. But then you got Illuminati's and all the others, Gino's East and all those other places here too. But for me, it's Giordano's. So it's an opinion. You can say I'm right, you can say I'm wrong, but it's just an opinion, it's a feeling. Now, in terms of like my favorite restaurant, man, that's really difficult. I'm going to go with the first place that I actually went on a date with my wife. And the rest is history from there. It's in Wicker Park. It's called Sultan's Market. So that was there's some deep emotional connection to it, but that was a really just fun place and fun memories for me. So it'd have to be Sultan's Market for me on that front.
Yeah, it's amazing how you get that just connection. Something special happens in a restaurant and it takes on this magical aura, right, within that restaurant. And every time you go back, I love Giordano's. That's a fantastic place to eat. But the New Yorker in me, somebody who was literally born in Manhattan, will tell you that deep dish pizza is a casserole, for the record. But I do like it. It is delicious, and I'm not going to fight you on it. All I'm going to say is it's not pizza.
Agree to disagree on on this topic here, Mike. It's very controversial, I know.
That's awesome. All right, so how can our listeners get in touch with you? Let's say they're interested, they want to do some financial planning, they want to do some budgeting. How can they reach you?
Absolutely. So, you can get in touch with me a few ways. You can always email me if you're interested in exploring what it's like working with us. The second way is you can always visit our website at www.armstrongatac.com. Check us out and schedule a call with us there. And I think those are the two easiest ways.
That sounds great. Now, if you had a billboard, right, let's say in the middle of downtown Chicago, the most busy intersection in Chicago, what would you want that billboard to say?
Awesome. So for me, it's be who you are, live life to the fullest, because we don't know if tomorrow's coming. Right. Just take care of yourself. It's so important, and the rest will come.
That's a great message. I really appreciate your time. Erol Atac, you are amazing. So glad that we reconnected here today on the Fraternity Foodie podcast. I wish you all the best of luck. I know a bunch of our listeners are going to be contacting you now. So we appreciate you, and we appreciate the listeners. If this was helpful for you, great. Give us a thumbs up. If this might be helpful to somebody else that you know in your network, be sure to share this interview with them. And we hope to see you on another episode of Fraternity Foodie. Bye for now.
Thank you, Michael.
You got it.